What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. As you know, many of you brothers and sisters have heard about what has happened to the infamous rapper Tory Lanez. He was stabbed in a Bakersfield prison, and I would like to read what happened to him according to the Instagram post. Tory was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own. Despite being in pain, he is talking normally in good spirits and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. Now, I was trying to get a lot of information about what exactly happened. I saw Poetic Flacco's title about a possible race riot. Then I saw other people with their opinions about friendship turned bad on the yard. And I've heard so many different things. But I just kind of want to talk to black men, those of you who have sons or nephews or people like that, especially those who have some level of a mouth, a little bit of swag on them. And this might have been true with some of you guys. It was kind of true with me. But one of the things that I always knew, okay, is whatever my plans were in life, none of them was to be a street guy, okay? I made a conscious decision, and many of you have also, in life, that being in the streets, being a tough guy, was not on the cards for us, okay? And so I live my life accordingly as a square, all right? And many black men have had some level of difficulty with coming to this conclusion because, you know, going to college or living a lifestyle that isn't Pookie and Ray Ray-ish, at least when I was coming up, was hard. I mean, it's a little bit more acceptable. I mean, even look at a guy like Travis Hunter, doing live streams and onesies. I mean, you know, like guys being nerds and being geeks in black culture is a little bit more accepted than when I was coming up. But the one thing that I always knew is that gangsters, there was always somebody more tougher than you, somebody always willing to take it to the next level before you would, somebody who was just more lit, as you would say, right, in a violent way, okay? And somebody who is just more about it, shout out to Master P, than you are. And so once you get to prison, ain't nothing in there but people who are the most about it. Ain't nothing in there but folks who more tougher. That's all that's there, okay? And a lot of dudes don't realize, and it might be one of you guys out there, and you be the ones dudes and on the basketball court, and hey, any life decision can change your life within seconds that will end you in prison, and you can't go back and change it. And I'm lucky to be 44, and I think about things a lot more than I did when I was 24 or Tory Lanez age. But all it takes is the wrong thing to happen, and boom, there you are fighting for your life. And then what if you lose? Now you in prison with people who been doing stuff. You know, that's the worst situation for a guy like Tory Lanez. A guy who actually, you know, he was having some problems before this. And if you guys want to say that he didn't shoot Megan Thee Stallion, fine. I used to be of that belief too. I won't even bring that up. But even before then, Tory Lanez was having problems. He was acting like a tough guy. You know, you're not from the States. You're a Canadian. You know what I'm saying? You're really doing a whole lot. You moving around like you that guy. Now you in there with the dudes that are those guys. And because you're famous and because you're celebrity, well, hey man, if we gonna pick on somebody or we gonna get at somebody, well, we gonna really see what you about. Are you the guy that really raps about that? Is that what it's like? Are you really like that? We want to see, are you really like that? We want to see that. We need that. We got to see, or if you're really like that, bruh, we got to see that. So then here they come with all their games. Here they come with their emotion. Here they come with all that stuff. You see? And we don't really know what happened, but here's the situation. If Tory Lanez wasn't going down that path in life, because he was eventually going to go to prison. That's what you guys don't want to deal with. The way that Tory Lanez was behaving, acting reckless, he was on his way, and he thought because he was Tory Lanez, he could do whatever he wants. And it's not like that. If you're gonna be a tough guy, be a tough guy. And deal with getting stabbed 7 times or 14 times in prison. That's what happens to tough guys. Tough guys die, usually a violent death. All right? There's a reason why you got guys like Aaron the plumber, who is, by definition, a street tough guy. There's a reason why. As an opportunity, he's on reality shows. He's on 20 versus 1s. You wanna know why? Because after living that life, he was like, Bradusky, it's much better on this side. It's much better on this side. And he's right, okay? Black men that have talent, the world is out there for you. You ain't gotta be nobody's tough guy. And I'm even talking, I ain't talking to the young black men. I'm talking to the old black men. Oh, I'll bust somebody in the head. You don't know who they dealing with. Yeah, you're gonna bust your ass right there in prison. At 40-something years old, somebody lathering your cheeks up. Watch yourself. We gotta all watch ourselves as black men. We gotta all watch our behavior. We gotta all watch our tempers, because this can happen to us. It's so many people that go to prison every day that had college degrees. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those are the guys that make a mistake and they go to prison and their life turned upside down. You're not tough. We are not tough, okay? We gotta stay away from those things as much as possible. And even though like, oh, this won't apply to me, it could one day. You can have a road rage incident. How many guys road rage incident in the place you licensed to carry, okay? You use excessive force on somebody that you thought you understood the law and thought that you could do that. I saw a situation where a guy was being threatened, okay? Lived in an apartment complex, a bigger guy. He had witness and everything. Guy was threatening the guy. The guy was a smaller guy, okay? So the guy goes in his house and gets his gun, right? The guy is being aggressive. The guy comes towards him. He shoots the guy, okay? The court said, did he hit you? He said, no. He didn't hit me, but the guy was threatening me, okay? I hate what happened. I didn't want to see what happened, but he didn't hit me. He was thinking about hitting me. He said, so you shot an unarmed individual. He's like, yeah, but he was threatening me. But see, what he didn't know is he didn't know the law. They gave him 15 years for that, okay? 15 years. Just because you were threatened, you can't use excessive force on people in certain states. So you have a guy that's 5'3", and you thought that you was afraid of that guy being the bigger guy. No, now you in prison with bigger guys and you ain't got no gun. And now you about to be extorted. So we already know what's happening to him. If he's not getting his cheeks took, he's being extorted like crazy, okay? We gotta really look at this, family. I see it all the time on these crime networks. I wanted to start one myself, but I see it all the time. These crime stories, these guys don't know. Take somebody's life or any of that. Get with a female acting crazy, you know, you trying to leave and she lie on you, you push her down, she hit her head and boom, there you go, right? And then if you're behaving like that already, you're acting reckless already, you put yourself there. And I know that's gonna be controversial for Tory Lanez fans, but he was on his way. And if you don't wanna get stabbed in prison, don't put yourself in situations where you might end up there, okay? Make a conscious decision to not go. And if you don't, same thing will happen in your ass. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shady Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.